in history as his lavish. He was regarded as a Caesar of Sham. So there are definitely different approaches, and that approach is actually manifested by the acute and absolute sense of justice in society and at a personal level that Imam Ali had, that would not have allowed him to even favor his brother Aqil by giving him an extra dinar or so that he was asking from Baytul Mal. So he had that sense of justice. And therefore, that sense of justice was not one that I think that history would record as having been shared quite in exactly the same way as by the other caliphs. So there are differences.
Sure. And he went on to mention our dear brother that phoned in prior to the break about Ghadeer, and he's done his research and he's happy that it's Sahih. However, he's got a problem with why we use or interpret or translate the word Mawla to master. I know you dealt with this earlier on. If maybe you could very quickly touch on this just for his benefit. And then he said, if it is master, then why was it only mentioned once? Why didn't the Prophet, such an important point, why didn't he mention the status of Imam Ali alayhi salam on numerous occasions?
Yes, I think one of the things that we have to bear in mind is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, commanded the Holy Prophet to make that declaration. And it was a very formal and a very solemn declaration, which was made at the instance of a command by Allah, as shown by the ayah of Surah Ma'idah, and following which, the ayah that came, that Allah says that I have now perfected your religion, this is this day, al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum, etc. That is an authentication that this was a very firm command by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And therefore, Allah commanded that particular approach, and that was done. In terms of indicating to the Ummah the position of Imam Ali alayhi salam, there are numerous ahadith of the Holy Prophet, which started Dawat Zil Ashira, which starts with the hadith says there is no youth braver than Imam Ali alayhi salam. There is none but a believer loves Imam Ali, and none but a hypocrite hates Ali alayhi salam. I am from Ali, and Ali is from me. Truth is wherever Ali is, and truth goes with Ali wherever Ali goes. I am the city of knowledge, and Ali is the gate of the city. Whoever loves me and loves Hassan and Hussein and loves their mother and father will be with me in my station on the day of resurrection. And the Holy Prophet also said, وَلَوْلَا أَنْتَ يَا عَلِي لَمْ يُعْرَفِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ بَعْدِي. And this is in Dua Nudba. وَكَانَ بَعْدُ هُدًى مِنَ الذَّلَالِ وَنُورًا مِنَ الْعَمَى وَحَبْلِ اللَّهِ الْمَتِينِ وَصِرَاطِ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. This says that, O Ali, the Holy Prophet says, if you had not been there, there would have been no way of distinguishing what is mu'min, or what are the believers after me.
Sure, and all of these ahadith that you're mentioning are very beautiful, very poetic, but why this doesn't explicitly prove that he was appointed as a master afterwards? Why can't we have this kind of two-tier system of a caliph and then this priestly figure who everybody loves, according to the hadith that you mentioned, everybody even goes to for knowledge, etc., etc., but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's to become the caliph.
Okay, the declaration of Ghadeer was a very public declaration, but there are hadiths of the Holy Prophet which says, after me there are 12 imams, and he narrated each and every name of the imams. And they are authentic sources for those hadiths as well. So it is not as if one is relying entirely on this one declaration, which is a public formal declaration, to prove the imamat of Imam Ali. This has to be taken in context with several other hadiths which state who are the imams after who are the successors after me. This is what the Holy Prophet has said.
Sure.
So one has to look at that in context.
Okay. And of course, I suppose there's the one of Harun and Musa.
Yes.
which is obviously another famous one. And we've only got 10 minutes left, so I don't really want to keep going around in circles with regards to the appointment or nomination, designation, choice, etc. I wanted us to maybe just focus for a few minutes on the personality of Imam Ali alayhi salam.
I think it's very important that our viewers understand Imam Ali's personality in all aspects. He is Nafs Rasul. He represents all the magnanimity, all the rahmah, all the attributes that the Holy Prophet showed. And he learned that, he imbibed it from the Holy Prophet from a very young age. As he said, from a very young age, he was with the Holy Prophet and followed him just like a baby camel follows a mother camel. And he says, Imam Ali says, I was taught each and every new dimension of knowledge. And the Holy Prophet would imbibe a new quality and explain to me this quality every time in the same way as a pigeon feeds its baby. So that was imbibed by Imam Ali alayhi salam. The very close connection, being very close, being physically close, being together with the Holy Prophet from a very young age. And then to be given the status of brother of the Holy Prophet. The person, the Imam Ali alayhi salam, shows his different characteristics. Let's look at, he is the greatest scholar. He shows the scholarly world. He shows that he's the greatest scholar and thinker. He is the door to the city of knowledge. And he is the person who makes a declaration from the mimbar, Saluni, Saluni, ask me before I go away. So he is a person who is a source of knowledge. And we have Nahjul Balagha, we have him as a founder of the intellectual thinking, the philosophical thinking, the educational sciences, etc., and all the religious concepts. We find his eloquent sermons and his commentary on the Quran. In Nahjul Balagha, you have several deeply philosophical aspects of knowledge, of justice, of spirituality. He is a model for the people who are seeking spirituality, for the Sufis, for the Gnostics. He is the model to follow. He represents the radiance of spirituality to them. We find that he, as a personal level, he's gentle, he's kind, and he is very good to the needy and deprived. You find that after his death, after his shahadat, when Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein, they pass by after the funeral, they find that someone is crying, and he says that he was the one, someone is to come and take care of me every night. This is in Kufa, and he's the Khalifa, and he's taking care of the very poor people. You find that him doing this in Medina as well, and taking care of the poor people. He's gentle to the servants. He's good to Kambar. He's good to his servants. He's good to his people around him. You find that he is, when he goes and buys a dress, he buys a newer dress for his servant Kambar rather than for himself. You find that he is a great reformer in terms of bringing social justice in society.
Okay, I'll let you continue in a minute. It's just that we have our last call of the evening, so we'll take down the call and then take note of the call, and then you can respond, and then, of course, continue with maybe outlining some of the sublime characteristics of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Imran.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. How are you, Abdul?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
Alhamdulillah. Thank you for your input and Hajj Maqbool Rahim's comments. I just wanted to make a comment regarding the previous caller who asked a few questions regarding Amir al-Mu'mineen. He said, would Imam do the same thing, i.e. are all the caliphs equal in their actions and judgment? I just wanted to point out a few things. Imam Ali alayhi salam didn't fight in the first 25 years of his life after the demise of the Holy Prophet in any of the battles of the first three caliphs. So that's the first thing that points out, that he wasn't in accordance to the expansion of Islam through war under their command. Second thing was that I remember quite vividly the second caliph said, "Was it not for Ali, I would have perished." So obviously there's a bit of judgment that can be differed upon between the two. And Hajj Maqbool Rahim also pointed out quite rightly that the third caliph's governors were completely changed by Amir al-Mu'mineen. He reappointed people, he removed people like Walid bin Uqba from Kufa, Marwan bin Hakam, who had been expelled by the Holy Prophet ﷺ as well. And also he appointed people like Malik bin Ashtar, Mohammed bin Abu Bakr, and he socially revamped the whole system in Kufa. I remember once as well that he said, even if your dowries have been used from the Baytul Mal, we'll retract it back. So that's one thing. The second thing...
apologies, brother. It is Brother Imran, no?
Yeah.
Apologies. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. We've literally only got about a minute and a half left. But thank you very much for the contributions you made. Of course, that was much appreciated. And hopefully we'll hear from you in the future. Once again, apologies. Over to you.
Thank you very much. I mean, that's a beautiful analysis that you were making. Thank you very much, Brother Imran, for that. And I think if one goes into history, one is able to show quite clearly what are the various ways in which Imam Ali would have been different. Yeah. If you look at the fact that he sought to bring about justice in society, human rights, distribution of justice, make everyone's right. Every person has right to food, shelter, clothing, living in security. What we now find in the United Nations Millennium Rights, goals, Millennium Goals. This is the kind of human rights that Imam Ali was espousing at that time, and he wanted to see adala in society, equity in society, social justice and human rights. At the level of spirituality, he sought Allah's ma'arifat and pleasure, and he devoted himself in great worship and ibadah. It was narrated that when his arrow was stuck, and it was very painful for it to be removed from his leg in one of the wars, the Holy Prophet advised people that wait until he goes into salah, and that's the time when he's at communion with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He'll forget himself. He will not feel the pain. And they removed the arrow without him noticing it. So you can see as a worshipper of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as a spiritualist, he is a great worshipper seeking the pleasure. He said that if in fact he has such yaqeen that the veils could not give him, if the veils were lifted, his yaqeen would not increase. And when someone asks him, "Have you seen your Lord?" He said, "Yes, I've seen my Lord, but with the eyes of my heart, my insight, not the eyes." And then he explains exactly how the Lord can be seen with the insight. We find that he was a great warrior, and Khaybar, Khandak, Amr bin Abdawad, Marhab. We find endless accounts of the great bravery. La fata illa alila sayfa illa zulfikar. In Uhud. These are great accounts of Imam Ali alayhi salam in his bravery, in the fight that he made in the defense of Islam. He never fought, as Brother Imran mentioned, never fought a war after the Holy Prophet died, except when there were defensive wars that he fought during his Khilafat.
Thank you very, very much, Maqbool Rahim. It's been a pleasure once again to have you here. Hope to see you in the future. Thank you for joining us once again. Eid Ghadeer. Eid Mubarak, sorry, for the Eid of Ghadeer. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.
You and I was going through the heart of Fatima Zahra when she lost her father, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he passed away. She said, "Oh Father, masa'ib, disasters came on me because of your departure. If these disasters were poured on the night, it would turn day." هذه فاطمة الزهراء رضي الله عنها.
على كمدي على